Alright, TEC versus JDG. First map. RA, Rare Atom versus RB. Previously of DRX. JDG's map pick. JDG attacking first. First time that we really probably get to see this org in Valorant. They were in it in Evolution series, but they didn't really do anything. And then Jakiro, their new player, their new IGL, filling Yeoman's boots on a map that typically was pretty good for Rare Atom before. TEC, the last time that they played this map, they played ISO and they beat Billy Billy. Kia can't necessarily break the haunt that's going to be thrown in behind him, but at the same time, Viva and Abo are going to peek and take a fight. Abi is kind of just straight pushing on his own, but at least he has a bit of support from Kwai with a great paranoia. So they catch Viva on this lurk. Stu gets the trade. And now they're going to be walking up. Jakiro clears it too. Last two players alive from TEC are rotating all the way around from C. So there's a bit of time, at least for JDG to work with this. Minute on the clock so they can cut time. Basically wait for TEC to maybe accidentally push into them to get some information. And we really get to see the first time that Jakiro is going to make a call here. They're worried about the flank. They actually used the haunt to check that. 35 seconds, so they don't really have anything. They have a Prowler still and a Seize. Jakiro's gone full utility and managed to pick up a Ghost off the ground, I think. So you can still got some utility there. They are a little bit worried about stairs naturally. But TEC can just play very like passive positions, waiting for the plant to play retake effectively. Who are the IGLs for each team? RB. Actually, RB's might be RB. Jakiro and RB. Whoever's in the middle of the UI is the IGL. Usually. It was wrong yesterday, but it's either RB or it's Abo.
台阶处 still 卡死了，这种情况下，如果两个人想从2楼一起走的话，跳下来的时间有可能被抓 timing， 所以这个回防。
So I guess this might be wrong. It might be right for the second map.
跳下来了，但是现在地图的感动，第一时间没有看到，第二时间再 pick， 后续再跟枪，但是对方2人想架，又要来帮了 ，still 被打。
Is that the Sifrene? Usually it is.
现在正面1打22滴血，还有机会吗？换弹成功，侧面在找，但是拆包已经快完成了，第一时间没有看到。
He has managed to clear him, and he's got time too. Really good retake actually from TEC. Does that speak Chinese or they come in English? Not too sure. Probably speaks some.
其实我们平常在打排位的时候会感到哨位干嘛断后的，但其实哨点道具嘛，对吧？上来第一波自动哨兵、纳米蜂群、起个半甲，差不多了。
Yeah, usually the rule is that whoever's in the middle is the IGL because this is based on where they're sat. But it's had Autumn in the middle for FPX yesterday, and then for the second map it was changed because Bellum was IGL.
手枪局拿下来以后，那么接下来问题，我觉得啊，待会要看什么？有没有可能蟒侠？我想看看。
Like it was right for EMEA yesterday.
可以看到 Jakiro 这边是整了一把飞将。 这把飞将也算是他们去远距离抽杀的一个本钱，但这样的话，下一回合会有一个半甲。
So JDG is at Universal. I think usually when it's like LAN events, yes, usually. But I think it's wrong for, at least for wrong for TEC.
这个 TEC 没有选择起到蟒侠，不然下回合其实对 JDG 而言前点都比较危险的。
How on earth people like Sliggy or anybody with like a big chat doesn't get distracted by everybody is beyond me. They just said in the interview before that Abos is TEC, I think. Yeah, I think so too. They said it in the pre-match fit. Okay, so yeah, this is wrong.
你看 Jakiro 这站位，他就是卡住 C， 然后随时准备旋转门压 B 的。现在这个目标。
As for JDG, it could also be wrong, kind of like people are saying like Martin. It would make sense because if Abos the IGL, maybe that lining up makes sense. But that's the things that he doesn't read chat.
low cam 的一个手稳已经骗完了。现在 low cam 手里没有手稳的情况下，这个信息不知道 JDG 最后有没有可能再折返回来打 C 哦。Still 正面给一些压力，其实队友已经快速的往 A 再转了。
I suppose I should tighten up, like if I'm wanted to be okay, nice Stu. Some of the rounds that Stu came up with last year were bullshit, to be honest. Martin's like hot stepping on the lurg, and that's a great flick onto Abo. And he's pulled the attention of 3 players. It's an open plan. Are we going to see another like eco round win? He gets how do you say it again? He's like Chuye.
而且现在你看这个枪械，防守方已经没有优势了。
你看两边每一回合发力的，其实都是那个少尉。
Q.
Still 这一
The
场
Q
也
or
不
Chu?
Martin 连断2人，真的是超额完成。卡哇伊
Good shot for Kwai.
之间打掉了 Still。
I know how to say that. Maybe Viva gets a clean one too. Kwai gets a clean couple. Not really that much time though, so JK's there to just stall. No time. Even though that was a sick round for Kwai with some of those kills. Not quite there.
对，爆能器来不及拆了，翻分。
Chuye.
虽然说最后是把 JDG 的
So basically you pronounce this player like Reddit spent the afternoon after Bleed Esports lost. Chuye, you chew up ye. Easy to remember now.
东麦尔还是有一些投入在的，但是全部阵亡之后没有宝枪，对吧？包括是爆能器下来之后，下一回肯定是能起到非常不错的一个枪械。那 TEC 这边就会稍微苦一些了，而且这一波其实
Yeah, if there's, I don't know if anybody's seen like the first ace of China, but when it comes to aim, they've got that in spades. I think what they lack is a little bit of discipline. It's like Paper X in the very early days, is how I describe it. But instead of one Paper X in Pacific, we have about 8, I think, in China. But to give, like, whilst this is like an eco for tech, this is what I do when I'm casting as well. Like, alright, if it's like an anti-eco round, I think it should be simple. We get to spin up the narratives and talk less about the specifics of what teams are doing, because they're just putting pressure on A, opening the door, kind of leaving Spike and not plays. JDG are expected to go to Madrid. I think that's a pretty... Madrid or Shanghai... JDG need to attend one. If they don't, they're in trouble. There's a lot of expectations with this roster, this org. They spent $16 million on their league team last year, and they made top 4 in Worlds. JDG won championships. And I think out of going to Master Champions Seoul, you're looking at EDG, naturally, as a team that should be there. FPX, I think, is up in that category as well. JDG, obviously, is another team that's there, and maybe Trace. Like, they're the top 4 teams. But ordering those top 4 teams, or maybe adding in other ones, is difficult. But JDG is, like, expected to win this. TEC is, like, a really good dark horse team to cheer for. Not only because they have RB, but because... from the brave stuff that we saw at the end of last year, TEC looked good. They beat Billy, they beat top esports, 2 like top 6, top 5 teams in the region. And they did it with style, right?
是的，而且这一回合没有任何的一个枪械的失落，所以接下来，对于需要全起的
No hopes of BLG.
怎么来做应对的这个
The Wolves game later is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And I'm sorry, I try not to be biased. I'm going to be cheering for Wolves. What happened to Billy? We can talk about that later on when they play. But after Champions, they fell off massively. Are you a Wolves fan? I'm a fan of the players. I'm not going to say I'm a fan of Wolverhampton Wanderers because my family would disown me as Hull City fans. At least they're the like same color scheme.
正面的话还是给压力，但是现在蝰蛇并没有在 B 来摸，并没有在 C 来摸。
But I actually love the team. Like, the players that they've picked up are fantastic. Anyway, full buy. I actually managed to look all the way in onto this setup on C. Fala's going to clear onto elbow. Stu's going to try and push up. The Nana Swarm, which is pretty much goated in this position, is good. And lock him. Good clearance, actually, with 2 rifles. Bit of an awkward one-at-a-time peek in the end for JDG, but they've lost the spike now. You got the late lurk from Martin. And this actually should be okay in the end for JDG. They still have like a full buy. As for TEC, RB, we all know where he comes from, right? This is the DRX RB. Lockham is the other new player that they got, which I assumed was just going to be the 6th man. I thought it was just going to be a sub. This player came from Nightwing Gaming, which was the same team that Crystal played for, if you remember Crystal. Not Crystal, like Overwatch League Crystal. The Russian player Crystal. Is this the first match of the day? It is, yeah. Martin at least makes it close, but I mean, if he was managing to win a 1v4, that'd be a statement. Pistol played with Chemkin? Yes. What were they on? They were on Scars together? Was it Scars or Fennel? China log goes crazy. Any Nova type crazy things happen yet? Kawhi had some nice pistol shots, but lost a round. But outside of that, not really. It's Lotus, so it's fairly tame, I think. Especially with both teams playing old comps. Season 8 combo coming in. Stu manages to get past. RB gets hit by the opponent's haunt. The nade is going to be good, but RB breaking the secret door is able to get out, so everybody's safe. Good pressure. What kind of utilities are forced out? The Seize, the Haunt, a Prowler has already been used to check B main to see if Martin's lurking there. As for the side of Jakiro, he's only used his Haunt. Stu's used both his satchels to get across into rubble, used his nade, but I think actually utility-wise, I'd say that like JDG has kind of won out here, and they've got a good spot. The only issue now is just you're going into the Killjoy setup, you're going into a pretty passive system for TEC. And so that means that the rest of the team needs to start digging, I suppose. Martin's on a lurk, he potentially might run into 2 players. This was also Prowler before, so might be able to get a good timing here, but it is being keenly watched by Kawhi. 3 players rotating over from TEC. So JDG just putting in a little bit of pressure with some utility over here. Wasn't paying attention too much to what specifically. A couple of Astra Stars, perhaps. Who we spotted today? I'm neutral in this one. I'm just a Stu fan. I said to Stu, if he goes to Madrid, I'm going too. But realistically, I don't think I can afford to go to Madrid. So I guess I'm hoping for JDG to lose, so I don't disappoint Stu. Viper's Pit and Lockdown used for JDG. They've lost a player already because the Showstopper went through from Stu and kind of just got cleared. Is this worth going for TEC? Their money is pretty rough. You got Abo, sorry, that was still on a Guardian. Looks like a save. At least Kawhi's like, yeah, I'm not really bothering with this. Chuye is just sitting back. It's not a great round to have saving, because you didn't get any kills, so you can't get any of the gun upgrades from JDG. And you're saving a Guardian and a Bulldog. But what else can they do? I mean, I think rounds like that where they use a Lockdown and a Viper's Pit, you literally go, they've used 2 big ultimates, let them have it. We only lose 1 player, we kind of have a full buy coming into it next. But Abba's 1 away from a Showstopper, so they might try and fight for this orb a little bit more. Jakura's 1 away from having a Nightfall from the Fades. But yeah, outside of that, important round I think for TEC to win if they want to stay in this. Oh my god, Viva is insane to go for that. He wasn't expecting such a close horn. I don't know if it was right on top of him or it's on top of rubble. Great spray from Kawhi. He's read this so well. And losing the Viper as well, so you've lost that. You lost Jakiro, who's had that Nightfall in hand, pretty much. So you've lost that, like, A pressure with the Viper wall. You've lost all of your, like, initiate utility. Thing is, they know that Martin's there on the, like, no, sorry, it's not Martin this time, it's actually Yihao.
想要去夹 B 吗 ？B 通前点虽然有一个1号单挂，但是压力是给不到的。就要对到一个重防的点了呀。RB 现在枪架的死死的 steal， 往前走一步就是生死之间。
Oh, he's got a satchel in the face. Stu's just actually owned him. And Stu is just continuing on. The nade is going to go right back onto Lockham. That is perfectly placed to the point where he's dead. Okay, there's the Stu round. This is why I love this guy, because he's just... He's cooking.
利用一个惊喜翻腾破坏 RB 的枪械，然后再用踩雷飞剑压你的防守方的位置，最后再用
What a round to come in, yeah.
打掉了最后一人。
Looked like TEC was in pole position.
这回合其实 TEC 选择了一个 A 点前压，已经是选择了一个战术的。
Oh my god, that looks actually crazy. This nade couldn't have been better because Lockham gets a kill on Martin, has to back out, accepts his death. Chuye gets chewed up. Stuga isn't half bad. MBS, he is my hero.
老样的先抢10强后，然后随时准备。你看这个爆能器的位置。
哎 ，RB。
Viva's getting a lot of first deaths here, and like losing a gun in that position against a Marshall when you have a Viper's wall here is an eco, but there's a gun upgrade at least on the ground. So Martin holding this, maybe fighting for it a little bit more is a bit much. Okay, Jikaro sort of makes up for like the last round, going down early and just clears them up. Abo's very good with a rifle. Rifle? The opposite of a rifle. A sniper. Played a lot of chamber, played a lot of jet, was on EDG. Chuye also mechanically a god. He's not even interested in picking up the gun. He's like, I'm just going to 1v2 them with a sheriff. That's all I need. Manages to dodge the double peek, which is really nice. They've seized him. They got a nade. Ooh, it wasn't too far away, was it? Did JDG buy rare item? Yes, they did. They got everybody but Yeoman. And if they could have Yeoman, they probably would have got him too. But they're only allowed one import. There is a world, there is 100% a world that could have gone Chuye's way. Especially with how China started thus far. JDG was a little bit whiffy with it. China players are all Deagle gods, yeah. Pemmer from TEC. What's the name of the coach? Free Water, I think it was. Who's the RGL for JDG? It is J. Curl. Your man is the assistant coach of JDG? No, he isn't. He is on a team in China. Team in Korea, even. There are a couple of teams where old players on the team have gone to be like assistant coaches. Dragon Ranger Gaming have it. I can't remember who it was. YH Chen, I think it was. He's like not retired from being a player, but he's assistant coaching on DRG now, I think. As well as been staying with the Nova roster, not sure in what capacity. I mean, they don't need a duelist, but it makes sense because like Swirl and Guan as a combo could be really good, and they still have a chance for an import. You think China roster is on par with APAC yet? Not yet, but I don't think it'll take long because Pacific and China scrim each other a lot. Talking a lot to the China teams. They don't scrim each other in preparation for this tournament. But what they do is they scrim a lot of the Pacific teams. Which honestly, if you can freely practice Paper X, DRX, T1, Global Esports with their bind comp, right? I have a conspiracy theory before this XQ comes in. The Global Esports took that comp from a Chinese team, and we're going to see that comp again somewhere here. Like, some China team was cooking, and Global Esports went, hey, that comp isn't half bad. They took it themselves, and everybody's like, what the hell is this Global Esports team doing? And they're like, well, we took it from Nova in China, and they were, like, destroying with it. Alright, Cosmic Divide, Showstopper, and the Nightfall is used on this execute from JDG, and they don't even get out the choke. I don't know what sit is in Chinese, but whatever it is, TEC just said that to JDG, because oh my god, they just shut the door on them. Thank you for the sub, NBS. I don't know if that's gifted or not, because I don't have my alert open. Oh, thank you for the weather report, Alexa. Oh, she actually just stopped.
那这一分，我觉得对 TEC 而言，他们只
She's
要
like, oh,
保证，
am I
因为他们在
interrupting?
暂停之后回来确认了，其实确认了一件事情，自己的一个基础。
Also, thank you for Steel Crafty, 2 Boots of Beat, and Cole T XD. Great name. All for the Twitch Primes and Tier 1s. Means a lot.
有没有可能直接前压呢？我觉得值得期待一下。
是的，而且主要是因为京东他们选到的是一个黑洞的体系，这种体系如果你在拉扯当中没有牵动到防守，你是很难去破掉像 C 包点这种。
Great ult from RB as a response, and just good fights actually from QA.
好，来看一下啊。
9 and 5. I mean, this is not too surprising. I think if there was a player that I wanted to see more out of to see how good they realistically were, it's not RB on this roster. QA. This is the guy that picked up ISO. Alright, good trades on either side. And 4 versus 4. I know, just backing out a little bit more. You've got the Omen that's TP'd across. Aggressive ult from TEC. And JDG, I think, have done well to actually just keep having buys here. Like here, they might even still have a buy for round 10 if they lose this, but the money's always been on the fence for TEC. Always on the back foot.
压力给不到了，那可能打 A 会是最好的选择 ，C 包点基本没啥念想了。来了，暗射小探。
ITL is J Hero.
啊，建议拉走了，没法留。
那现在 TEC 只要不改自己一个站位
Until we are told otherwise.
双架也会比较难打。
There were rumors that it's Martin. I don't think so.
情况下，往 A 一片顶 B 的一个思路。
找到弱侧了。现在 TEC 的一个 B 包点。
Is it common to see an IGL duelist? There are a lot of preconceived notions that are going to be broken if you watch a lot of China. I'll say that much. If it doesn't make sense, you're in the right region. You're watching the right game.
一个方向，无论是 AB 连2楼还是 BC 连，要顶出去。
But no, it's not really that common. Nova have it as well with Ooh. Or Xiaodong, as it's meant to be said. Oh, Geekers, thank you very much for the 10 gifted. I'm gonna go over it in a break. People are watching these VODs on Sluggy's YouTube channel. I don't want to be talking crap. And Martin, good spray on the plant. They've got half. Martin is saving it, and Viva, nice late lurk as well. Really well played. Probably another eco for TEC. Yeah, considering that Sluggy barely knows how to open a browser, I'm quite surprised that he's as good as he is at like staying on top of like subs. Sewer Rat, Saint, thank you very much for the subs. Chat, get your primes out. You don't need to. That's not me. Hold on. To be fair, I'm just quoting what Saint's saying there. That's not me, like... Open your wallets, people. No, I don't care for that. I'm in my element. I'm thriving. I get to cast whilst also not being hired, so that's nice. 5v5, Abo, showstopper, pushing up, being more aggressive. Still like forced here, round 10, so I guess it's like a force. Eco on round 11 if you lose, then you have a buy for round 12. But the money is starting to pile up really nicely for JDG. They should be good for the rest of this half, like with 4.7, 4.9. Assuming a day, if they lose some rounds, they probably like try and save guns. IGL of TEC? No. The UI thing that I've been talking about is wrong for this one. It was wrong a bit yesterday. But Arbo is the IGL, the duelist. And he was duelist last year as well, and IGLing. I think the reason why he's IGLing is because he's like the most experienced. Like he was on EDG before. I think he was on the academy team. But he was in EDG in the very early days, right?
I'd
probably say you could go to Madrid for Stu. I'll have to like argue with Riot for it.
时间其实有一点点紧，而且阿伯单手手里有晚焰火。
He's still an EDG loney. Would that be allowed?
15秒钟了。
Horn tried to clear secret. Time is getting very low and the spike's lost. RB's held on. Don't really like the tempo, I suppose, of how JDG were playing there.
时间已经不够了，这一分 JDG 压到最后没有办法去完成爆能器的安置 ，RB 在
gonna
顶住了压力。
Get the kill? Nope, Stu saves a gun. Actually, really important that he does, kind of like I said before. They should have you on the desk for Chinese games. Well, there's no English broadcast for China this year.
最重要的是，首先他守 A 包的阿婆用完焰火能去拖延一定时间，然后
And for international events, honestly, like if they have people like Sideshow there, right? Like I know he's gonna be like well drilled on it, and like everybody else in Plot Chat, they could just ask me like, what do you think of this player? What do you think of this team? What do you think of them on this? And I'll just tell them. All right, Val analysis timeout. It's been an okay half, I think, for JDG. This was their map pick. TEC chose to be on the defense first. Most teams would thrive at the opportunity to be on attack, though, for Lotus to begin with. So there is still at least, like, some element of it. But JDG should be doing well this half. Live attack here is good. Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. I think even 4 for TEC is like doable. Ding dong down. I don't know any of like the common memes and stuff that would be said for like the LPL teams. Do I need to like basically glaze for Shy Guy all the time? That is a sentence I never thought I would say. But here we are. No, please don't. Okay, Kadrill. So yeah, that I got that part of it right at least. I understood that reference. Alright, last 2 rounds of this half, really important one because the economy is actually kind of rough on both sides. Haunt right on top of the little gap there. Oh my god, Abby's actually owned this. The showstoppers stopped anybody else from getting in. The late lurk as well from Martin was cleared on C by LockM. I mean, I said that I didn't think that Abby could just come in and smurf on this region just because he was on DRX before, but I might be wrong when he's making plays like that. This is the area that I think the JDG, it's only been 11 rounds. First map, a lot of jitters. But this is the biggest difference I've seen from JDG now and Rare Atom. Like some of the mid to late rounds are not as good as they were when they had Yeoman. But that is a first impression. That's not like a full assessment because we've not seen enough. Oh my god, Viva. Great flick onto Chu. That was a great round from RB. Which VCT China team is your favorite? I love them all equally. They're all my children. Apart from Nova. That's not fair. I think Nova's won my praise from yesterday for sure. I think it's more like the players on the teams. Like I really like Stu on JDG. I like Vukashu on DRG. I really like the individual pickups that Wolves have had. I was a big attacking Soul fan. So. Means that this final round for JDG's buy isn't the best, and they've already lost Viva, who has a couple of like pretty rough first deaths, to be honest. Also, we found a stat website that has the API stuff from China. It's obviously all in like Mandarin, which makes it hard to move around. And also, it's a little bit laggy. How's TEC been doing? Good or middle of the pack? This has been a good performance so far. It is like only 12 rounds. Could get to the second half and TEC might not pick up an attack round at all, right? But going toe-to-toe with JDG here is good, but JDG is like their first game as well. Saw FPX struggle a little bit yesterday against Nova in their first game. And then by the second map, they fixed it. Could be same vibe. Nightfall actually just misses everybody on C, but that should be enough of a giveaway that it's going to be a B execute. Lockdown's been put down early from Chu, and RB actually, yeah, is just walking into them. He's just clearing them out. No time for Martin to really do anything. Really clean. Really good half, actually, from TEC. Pretty much since their like first time out, they've been really like clean. Very surprised and impressed at how like RB's just fit into this roster.
而且现在莲花古城的一个改动啊，你会发现确实进攻方和防守方之间已经趋于平衡了。从场上焦灼的一个比分，你也能够感受到，已经不像是以前那种无往不利的进攻图了。是的。
Abby's ult timing were really good there. Yeah, and just the fact that, like, even though it didn't actually connect onto anything, it kind of forced maybe JDG to go a little bit faster, like a bit panicked. But even with the ultimate not hitting, they have all the information that they need. But you're really good if you fit into any roster. TEC speaking English? Maybe, I don't know. I think what we're going to have to do is, like, listen to some, like, comms. Yeah, whilst we have like some halftime stuff, I should probably thank all of the subs, to be honest. This is a bigger thing. So, Titan Esports Club, last time that they played Lotus, they played Billy, and they won 13-8 with this comp. So they have not only moved away from having the ISO, but they've gone for the fade for RB2, so that's been a good fit. Kia's got over to the Killjoy, which I didn't have before, and then Lockham is just replacing what Black was playing. It's kind of interesting. So a date for VCT China skins revealed? Not yet. I think the general time frame that they've given is before Shanghai, which, yeah, I don't blame them for it, really. We're going to have to look at it for Rare Atom. Because obviously Rare Atom is the main core of this squad. Pretty much played all of this comp before. No real changes. This used to be Yeoman, now it's Jake Hero. Attack side and defense side fairly equal. Pretty dominant performances. Maybe we do it from start of September where we began. Lotus was 12-5 wins for them. A 13-0 DRG in the Ascension Grand Final. And then teams didn't really want to play it against them. A lot of teams that they lost to were like FPX, also had a good, Lotus, and of course EDG. Yeah, thanks Saint, thanks for all of the gifted subs, Geekers, MBS, Colty, Crafty. Is also like first thing in the morning for me, so maybe not as on it as I should be. TEC won the pistol in the first half, so winning it here could really set an interesting spin on what the rest of this map could look like. I feel like I don't need to talk too much about like what the teams are doing, like role-wise. This is all pretty generic stuff. Arbo is going to push up to break the turret, but it's kind of tricky with the pressure and support that he's put here. And TEC going for that B execute. All coming in together. Stu manages to clear lock-in. Good trades on either side from the looks of it, but that choke is still... Nobody's able to get out of it. Yihao needs help here. And J-Kuro tries to get there, but Arbo gets him with the nades. So what's this, 3v2 now? Move this forward a little bit. You got Martin staying here and then the flank around from Viva. They're just going to push onto Martin now. And they're actually going to be going C. But Viva has it all to do.
C 包直接下包是最稳妥的一个方式。那现在回防的 Viva 如何去拆分呢？脸上就是一个少界炮台，自己手里又是一把小标配。这回基本上已经没有机会了啊！这回确实太难了。看一下怎么去做拆分吧，手里没有蛇稳。
It was a really good call from Arbo actually.
白板的状态，而且他一枪点头还不死。 就感觉所有的 debuff 都给 Viva 给加
I
上
think that round was maybe like Yihao just
这回合毕竟下半场
over engaging here,
是可以接受的，但是现在要考虑一下第
and
二
then
局
other players got baited in, but that seemed to be like JDG's to win.
枪线再搜一下
Same thing happened in the last pistol, right? They got the first kill.
第一时间阿国一直在勾2枪的头部命中，但是随即秋叶就补枪完成。
没办法
Good clear
不
from
防守这
Shu.
个难度确实太大了啊。
下半场 TEC 是
I speaking Chinese or English, we don't know. I think realistically, we're gonna have to wait until
第2分当中有枪
like
械优势
comms clip
无
from
论
them.
抢 C 还是抢 A 都会非常的舒服。这分第2波啊，2段式的进场，非常决绝的去顶到这个 BC 连的通道。
Even though the like JDG might look a little bit worse for some of their calling, you have got another aimer in the server with you with J Kuro. So the fact that TEC are actually winning a lot of these like aim duels head on says a lot.
进攻方直接起到了3把的全甲害灵，
是飞将也退了，这正面顶出来，一枪抽射，阿国倒了，
空摘了一把，
基本上没事吧
丢了一个枪械发力了，仅仅是一把正义。
哦呦，枪械劣势的情况下，选择了土球前压，给到压力。
3把的害灵现在掉了一把，在等队友等会儿去搬运一下枪械。但是 JDG 如果还想前压的话 ，TEC 是有一个默认架在这儿的。
假低能球，但是 TEC 选择的也是穿射，并没有去鲁莽的去寻找人。
A、B 2个包点的一个控制都还没有调动，正面
I went to
打掉了，同时给到了一个舌吻。
That calls Ultra, yeah.
跳了回去，但是自己的一个战斗力已经非常低了
现在回防，
队友赶紧开始补防了。
但是现在的话，其实1分钟嘛，还有转的空间。
So they managed to get a kill onto Abo, and some good damage done onto Kwai, but really, is there much else for JDG that they can do here?
现在看一下他们是要执意打 C 还是进行转点吧。
Camping a gun, I think.
后路已经没有选择去进一步的摸牌。
Seeing if TEC might walk up on them.
压完时间一波进 C 了。
Nice one way smoke to it. It's really difficult for defenders to hold, especially when you don't have any utility to work with.
思路啊，有可能。
实在有问题的话就转 B， 但是有枪械有很大优势的情况下。
Jakura's down to 2 HP. Paranoia goes across.
但是鬼眼锁一手位置。
卡哇伊这位置还挺关键的，如果瀑布出来人，他会先接，有一个侧身，卡哇伊3杀到手了，剩下2个拉面。
Nice ace.
第2日
Kwai's had a really good map today.
虽然说这不是 VCT CN 的第1个首杀，但是2天2个5杀，证明了 VCT CN 选手们他们强劲的实力。
Okay, yeah, that was a 6-shot from Stu that I
在
missed.
第2局的一个魅力时刻，为什么说起到3把的害灵会让大家觉得好稳？因为这个枪确实在1扣局化身特种兵了。
Just a Spectre, I'm telling you.
回合个人发挥也是非常到位的。
三水教练也是非常激动啊。当然，唯一
Everybody talks about the other broken guns in the game, and the Spectre gets a pass.
给到的是幽影，是相对来说
The JDG on a pretty like weak full buy here, a lot of half armor. But the bonus obviously is a little bit worse from TEC. Putting a lot of pressure towards C. Like this pretty much is a we hate Martin. So we're gonna just basically hound him. I guess as well for TEC, like you're gonna have a good idea on how this team wanted to play Lotus because basically not changed at all since last year. Like right in the corner, 5 versus 5 on the retake. Kwai's got in close. He has a TP. He doesn't have a TP to get out. He's just in. He has it from the shadows though if he wants to just dedicate his ultimate to surviving. But it's being pinged. Like the defenders are pinging this spot. It's just how they clear it if they have the utility. And the fact that TEC go for that fight is really nice, but none of the fights go their way. Still a lot of time that's been bought here. I think this is might be it. Was there a snake bite? Was caught in the plant? Man, Abo's just gonna clear them out completely. Those two players just surviving on the site did so much. But even though it didn't work, I loved that TEC like push waterfall. Like this is really nice, I think, from Lock-in and RB.
但就是阿博在最后的这个残局里面异常的冷静，他唯一的一把狂土帮助队伍去把这个残局给打了下来。
Really good post-plant positions. And I think it's more like they get the timing right. They sort of know the JDG is like, all right, we're going to wait till our Hornet's back online. We're going to wait for this. We're going to wait for that. And just as they're about to go out, TEC tried to like preemptively strike them. Either there's Nico for JDG and TEC is starting to steal this. Abo is also has a showstopper now. Stu has 1-2.
爆能器现在是在 B 前那个位置，随时是有转的空间的。
These guys are aim monsters. And that's the one thing that like scares me about China is I think China's region is behind like EMEA, behind America. Naturally, they've only recently got the game properly. However, how quickly they've caught up with aim, but also how creative they are. This is just a region that isn't afraid to take risks and look silly doing so. That's why I can only... I don't really criticize global esports design stuff on, for example, that much. Because, like, fair play, they went for something a little bit kooky. And they believed in it. But at least they're trying something. Abo, oh, he satcheled off somebody's head and bounced back. Doesn't matter though, he still gets a kill into Viva. Viva and Martin are getting ran over here. Oh my god, Stu. Maybe a little bit overheating to go for more there. Okay, nice shot from Yihao. Nice shot from Yihao. There's only 7 seconds left. Oh, only just. Somebody's running getting a little bit closer than you'd want. So this is really just TEC go C. Both shots up C. How does he even hit that second shot? Nice try. Did 44 to good old RB. Yeah, RB's gonna be out of breath after this series, I feel. Alright, Arbo's taken out again. It's just still just an aim battle. The C's misses him. Lock-in has just actually been winning out a lot of these aim duels. There's so much focus goes onto RB is what he's been able to do as like the new player, but Lock-M just clears everybody there. But yet again, it's like these two, like Martin is just... Martin's not being able to do much because he's just like the last alive so often. Viva can. Viva's typically pretty good at clutches, but 2 versus 4 might be a bit too much. And especially with the money being as bad as it is, a save could be like a valid option. Considering that Lock-M is 2 ult orbs away, 1 orb away, 2 ult orbs away. You're kind of just giving TEC their ultimates here. So they're going to have an anti-eco next, and then they're going to potentially, well, they are going to have lockdown. They're going to have Viper's Pit. They're going to have Nightfall. I think you saved there, not necessarily because I think the guns are going to mean a huge amount, but you've just maybe given them all of the ultimates that you'd need once they get to 12. The fact that TEC are just not afraid to aim duel them here is mental. But I mean, that's probably the win condition, right? So many teams play scared of the big squads. Val analysis with another timeout. Bro is glued to the monitor. I mean, yeah, the players like it. I'm seeing the TEC top 3 vision. Yeah, I don't mind saying I didn't believe in it really. For me, it's not the TEC weren't good enough. It's just I don't want to get carried away with this team. Like we've seen so little from them. Like TEC, like we've only seen 1 stage of them playing. I think they could be really good by the end of the year, but I didn't have them beating JDG on my card, despite the fact that JDG look like nervous, a bit rusty, and common in a different language with a new RGL. I also might have been wrong about my assessment of Yeoman. Maybe he is a huge loss. Especially in moments like this. And also, it is a JDG that does tend to choke when it matters. New RGL is big difference. To be fair, this game plan seems the same for JDG, which is also a bit of a negative, right? JDG are just playing the same as they did last year.
进攻方的这个毒木在前点位，其实想控下这个 A 大之后啊，是比较。
Which is why I think TEC brought them to bind.
之后你可以看到 B 点秋叶已经开始在前点架默认了。对。对石门，
Worrying for your map pick though. Nightfall is going to be used on the A site. Secret's broken. Which is going to be heard from these two players. Obviously not heard from the players that were Nightfall, unless the timing was a little bit off. Yeah, TEC on a C execute. B execute, sorry. The Viper's Pit is there. There is at least like a buy up here. It's not a complete eco for JDG, but the buy is a really rough one. You have a Nightfall, you have a Cosmic Divide. The big question is, do you go for this? You got two players protecting like A main. Stu's dashed across, but Abo was just waiting. And then Jake Hero's just on his own. Stu is cooking a bit too much. Pot is running a little bit too hot, I think. And TEC had just cleared up all our individual fights. Near enough, as much of a flawless as you could get without losing Lock M. This is starting to splinter pretty bad, I think, for JDG. That's 12. You know what that means, chat. The only benefit, I suppose, is that TEC use some of those big ultimates, right? These Viper's Pit, these Nightfall. They're one away from lockdown, which is why they're fighting for this space so aggressively. Never mind, actually. They're going to get it for the Nightfall. RB's picked it up. When you have Shu over here, I guess they're just not really bothered about, like, locking it in now. Why just a lot of confidence here. The Guardians are winning out. Lock M has used his ultimate, so he's pretty far away. They've given a plant over to Chu. The lockdown is used on one side. They're going to plant and then probably lock down back. No, actually, he just gets wallbanged. Nice haunt actually that comes in from J.K. At least for TEC, you've got plenty of money. You're pretty much maxed out. She was on 8.7k, and he forced him to use lockdown. And they also used Nightfall this round as well, too. But J.K. used it over towards B. But it's just like, alright, let them use their ultimates. We have lockdown now. 5 chances. Stu is just a beast. I'm glad that he's still playing well. But, I mean, seeing stuff like this isn't too surprising. This is a little bit surprising. Man's doing well. Like, it's the support backbone of JDG that I'm not the most sold on. Like, they're good, but are they, like, Shishu and Haodong good? Or at this rate, are they Kawaii, Lock M, Chewie good? And I think TEC has been getting a lot of free reign over towards C. Like, they're just, this is clearly where they think JDG's weakest, and they'd be right, I think. Showstopper's going to be used from Stu. Gets one. Martin hiding in the smoke gets another one. Don't like that peek from Martin, because Stu's not with you. And then 2 versus 4 from the shadows is going to be even like dedicated, but I think it's just straight up cancel from Kawaii. Oh, he gets it to get the spike, right? And then he loses it. Alright, Stu's on the 4k. Is anybody that's going to bring this back from the brink for JDG? It's going to be Stu. 4 chances. You know, with EMEA, where they have like the telestrator now for the casters, I just want to see Sluggy do a cast where, like, on an actual broadcast, we just see the. And nothing else is said, you know? It's like The Simpsons, like, say the line.
对，所以这也是为什么上来第一把JDG现在打得非常难受的一个原因吧。而且你可以从2支战队的一个
Cosmic Divide. Stu is the operator now. Seems that they finally have enough money to run it, and it's not a bad shout. I don't... this is getting... Now they know that you've got the operator. Stu is rotating away. Rightly. Lockdown is going to be used on attack here. Stu's just running. They open the door. Not really a big dedication from TEC here. Don't really look ready to execute this, if they actually want to go here. Other than just quiet, just dropping in and going for the plant. Like, you've got the lurk of your fade over here. Strange. RB's lurking. The Cosmic Divide might make this even more awkward. It might not even matter if they're just going to peek them like this. RB's Haunt's giving it away though. Jakiro's now up there behind and somehow managed to survive that. Great peek from Kwai actually off the back of it. What, 2 versus 2? Lockham's peeking up B main in the Omen smoke. The attack Omen smoke that was just put down from Kwai just before he died. They've done it. 13-8. This smoke though, really nice and Kwai. I know people will be like, RB looked good, Chu had some good moments, but like Kwai is an Omen at a great map. Alright, this has got very interesting. JDG a map down going to Bind, which was the map that they lost in the grand final, the deciding map on Ascension, where they played the ISO. I mean, if this is the first time that you've tuned into like VCT China, you've chosen an outrageous game. This for me is like probably JDG being a top 2 team. So we're like second, I'd say, maybe third, and then TEC. Like, where would it be roughly? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6th to 8th. That's where I had them before. Oh wow, they just showed the stats. Highlights is... There's so many stats and highlights for RB. They're just like, just look at his stats. We don't need to show anything else, honestly. That's about it. RB screen. Yeah, they're just... There you go. RB, everybody. Anyway, sorry, I'll stop recording. First map done.